This is Mike Roth on Open Forum in the Villages, Florida. This season, we're going to be changing the name of the podcast because we are increasing our emphasis on activities and health for seniors over 55 years of age.
Welcome to Season 8 of Villages Vitality Life, Seniors Life Unscripted. Our podcast used to be called Open Forum in the Villages, Florida. In this new season, we talk to leaders of clubs and interesting folks who live in and around the villages. We also talk to people who have information vital to seniors. You will get perspectives of what is happening in and around the Villages, Florida. In addition, in this new season, we will add more information for all seniors. We are a listener-supported podcast.
This is Mike Roth on Villages Vitality Life, Senior Life Unscripted. And I'm here unscripted with Wayne Richards. Thanks for joining me, Wayne.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And I just want everybody to know that if you clip the bottom of your palm trees, they will come back. And wait a minute, that's a different show. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Usually you have to clip the top of the palm trees, the dead part out.
Actually, the guys came out and they clipped the bottom.
Really?
Yeah. So who knows?
You're going to have a very short tree.
There's different kinds of palm trees. And they don't belong in Central Florida in the first place.
A lot of them don't. No, you can see a lot of dead frond leaves all over the place here.
Yes.
We had some cold weather earlier this winter, and it's warmed up nicely today.
That's right.
Okay.
Beautiful. This is the weather we came here for, what we moved here for, what we pay for.
So, Wayne, in maybe 60 seconds, why don't you tell our audience about your background in the music industry?
Okay, riding on the wave of a natural ability in music, I decided to pursue music after I graduated high school. As a professional career, I went through the process of getting an agent, getting a manager, because the skills were strong enough. And at that particular time, I was also studying theater. I was a theater major, but I took a look and evaluated things and discovered that you can't make any money with theater. Music is a steady income for me. So I stuck with music, and I figured somewhere down the line, I'll get involved in other things like film scoring and writing for the stage and acting. And all that has transpired. And that's basically my career in about 60 seconds.
Okay.
Wait, it was 57 seconds.
Wayne, you've been here in the Villages how long now?
Let me look at my watch. About 8 years.
About 8 years, okay. How many different shows have you produced here?
Have I produced?
Yes, or written.
Let's see.
The first one was?
The first one was The Dream Road.
The Dream Road.
Dream Road. That was produced last year. And this is my second one. The Three Stooges Move to the Villages.
Now, that's not a musical, is it?
No. God, I hope not.
There's no music in it at all?
We've been singing for nothing during these rehearsals. I'm going to have to fix that right away.
Okay.
No, this is a straightforward comedy, but it has heart, it has a purpose, and there's a human story interwoven. This is not an episodic Three Stooges film condensed for stage. It's much different than people are going to expect.
Is it like the life story of...
No, it has nothing to do... We learn certain things about them. Like Curly, for instance, he limps a little bit because he had a hunting accident as a kid, and they all have aches and pains. And I guess part of the play is them trying to deal with that and become just regular villagers, regular people. I guess here's the premise. You go to a comedy club, you see the comic, he's up there, and he's killing it. He's doing a great job, and people are really tapped in, and you can't just walk away from that, come home and go to sleep. So chances are you go out to a Waffle House, you sit there with people, you kid around, and you can't stop. You're still cracking jokes. You're having a great time.
The adrenaline is high.
Yeah, the adrenaline is high. It's just like actors. Mm-hmm. Actors do the same thing. The Three Stooges did what they did for almost 50 years, and it became natural to them. So it got to the point where they couldn't even tell that they were doing it in real life. They'd suddenly be talking to somebody, and then they'd start bopping each other on the head and doing these little sticks. It was difficult for them to parse those reality and the stage separately. So there's a lot of that in this play where they're struggling with that. They want to become more human.
And the play is called?
The play is called The Three Stooges Move to the Villages.
Okay. And
Now,
it's set in
originally,
yes.
it was going to be, named it rather, Stooges on a Bridge. And the reason for that is the final scene takes place on a bridge and everything culminates and concludes on the bridge. Then we thought of the Three Stooges on a Bridge. We decided to do the Three Stooges Move to the Villages because there's been a successful track record with the Honeymooners Move to the Villages, with the Golden Girls Move to the Villages. So you can't fight City Hall. It doesn't change the integrity of the story or what we're trying to accomplish. So we went with it, and I guess people are comfortable with it. I guess I have my own personal preference, but we'll go with it, and people are going to recognize the name, the Three Stooges. Images are going to pop into their heads.
And the play is going to be performed when and where?
We're going to be performing it on 4 different shows in May. And matter of fact, I have information here. Give him the weather while I'm looking here for him.
Yes, and the weather is going to be snow in Buffalo, New York today.
Is it really? Well, God, that's why I'm not in Buffalo. Do have good winds, though.
Windy and cold in Chicago.
Windy and cold. Okay, we're going to be on May 1st at Hacienda, and then May 8th at Lake Miona, the 11th and 15th at Rohan. And if you want information about times, because we may do a matinee in there somewhere, and we may have additional times, additional dates, I would check out Acting Out. That'll be a good starting point. You can find out how to get tickets. It will be available online. It'll be advertised in the paper and everywhere.
What kind of seating is this going to be? Is it going to be round tables of 8, or is it going to be
No, it's going to be theater.
Theater style?
Theater style, yes.
Oh, so you can't bring your favorite adult beverages?
No. People sneak them in anyway. I'm president of the Chicago Cubs Club called Cubs World, and there isn't a place we've gone or done that beer hasn't made an appearance. So
people bring the Chicago beers in?
Beers? No.
Any old beer will do for Chicago.
Yeah. If they bring in, we crave for Chicago hot dogs, Chicago pizza.
What do you think of those Podellos?
Of what?
Podellos in the Middleton, the new...
Oh, you mean Portillos?
Portillos, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Podellos. I'm thinking it sounds...
I've never been to
Portillo, isn't that one of those guys that's in a boat in Venice? And they just... that's a gondola.
I thought it was a guy with a spear that stabs a bull in the bull ring.
No, it's Portillo's. It's the place for your Italian beef, Chicago-style Italian beef. And unless you had it, you can't describe it to anybody. You have to experience it for yourself. I've already corrupted the lives of about 2 or 3 people that have gone there and are hooked on the joint. So it's one of those things, if you want Chicago, that's where you go. And I love Chicago, but I tell you what, I would never move back. I'm done with the city, high taxes, all that stuff.
High taxes, cold weather.
This is home. I don't have to shovel anything here occasionally, but that's not snow. It's a wonderful place. The Villages are a wonderful place.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And how long is the play going to be?
How long?
Yeah. Is it in 2 acts, 3 acts?
No, it's 2. Actually, it's 2 acts, but we probably will do it all the way through. I think at tops, it'll be about 1 hour and 20. It'll be a fast ride. And I guarantee people will be pulled in right from the start.
If they're pulled in right from the start.
Right from the start, we have an excellent cast.
And you have a good break point. In a play, I would recommend 2 acts with a 15-minute intermission. Okay. Then you can sell the Chicago beer.
No, I don't like Chicago beer. I love Chicago and their pizza. I don't like their beer. I don't think they have. Actually, they do have a beer. Goose Island beer. So welcome to Beer Talk here on the Mike Roth Show.
No, we did a whole episode on the Villages beer.
Did you really?
Yes. And I asked him, how did you get dispensation for serving samples to everybody? And so it was very difficult. Listen to that episode of Open Forum in the Villages.
Yeah, I love beer. I certainly love beer.
They actually have a waiting list to be a member.
Really?
Yes.
I was a member of Beer Across America one time, and we'd sent these craft beers from all over the country, and they sent one from Colorado. I've never been able to find it again. It's called Red Lady Ale, and it's just, you drink it, the portals of heaven open up.
Yeah, there are a number of...
But enough about the Three Stooges.
About beer. A lot of small breweries go out of business.
I'm thinking of Chicago would only be Goose Island as far as I'm concerned. And that beer isn't any good. When they started to go national, the quality went down.
Yeah, that's the story of beer.
Would you like to hear about the guys who are playing the Stooges?
Sure.
They are tremendous.
Before we go over there, let's listen
Yes.
to an Alzheimer's tip so we can remember from Dr. Craig Curtis.
Amyloid is the spark and tau is the fire. We have the spark sparking for 20 years without symptoms. Once the spark causes the fire, the breakdown of tau inside the cell, we start to see symptoms. We are actively researching ways to stop tau as well.
Is it possible to regrow new brain cells to replace the ones tau has killed?
That's a hot topic. Scientists, for the most part, do not believe that we can regenerate any brain cells. There have been a few research papers published in the last 4 or 5 years that hint that there might be some brain cell regeneration, specifically in a part of the brain called the hippocampus, which ironically is where Alzheimer's disease starts, but it's really hard to prove that in humans.
With over 20 years of experience studying brain health, Dr. Curtis's goal is to educate the Villages community on how to live a longer, healthier life. To learn more, visit his website, Craig Curtis, or call 352-500-5252 to attend a free seminar.
Thank you, Dr. Curtis. Now, Wayne, you were going to tell us about the 3 players who you found to be the Three Stooges.
Yes, and amazingly enough, when we were first looking for people, everybody was telling me, you'll never find a Mo and a Curly. And those are the first 2 we found. They're incredible. First of all, Mo is played by Howard Tolman, and he surprised us at a rehearsal. He came wearing a hoodie, and I'm thinking, okay, what's with this guy? Because he's very outgoing, and he's always kidding around, and he's just a bundle of energy. You got to calm him down. And he took off the hoodie, and he was wearing a Mo wig, and he looked like the spitting image of Mo. Now, he has a few little characterizations of his own that he puts into the character of Mo, but that's fine. That's going to happen. But he's tremendous at it. I think now we move to Curly, who is played by Alan Rosenchin, who has been in a lot of local productions around Chicago, I think with the Villages Theater also. And he gets that high voice going up there and doing all the little mannerisms. We've got Curly to a T.
Good.
He may even actually shave his hair, which would be good. He doesn't have to. We can get a bald wig. And then Larry is played by Fred Solano, who is a friend of mine, who has a big theatrical background. Is from New York.
I know Fred.
I've been in plays with him. He was in Dream Road last year, and he's directed me in a play, and now I'm directing him in a play. So he's tremendous. They're all great. They all got the characters, and they bounce off of each other, both mentally and physically,
Now
very well.
is Fred actually taking up the characterization of one of the Three Stooge characters?
You're going to see Larry.
I'm going to see
And
Larry
the amazing thing is his voice.
with the curly hair.
Yeah,
Oh, so you get him a curly hair wig.
exactly. He said he was trying things with a hairdryer, trying to pull his hair out and everything. I said, no, we'll get you a wig. But here's the thing. You listen to his voice, and if he raises it higher just a little bit, it's perfect. It's perfect. You've got Larry. And one of the reasons I like him in that particular part is that, if anything, he is a great he's a good actor, but he's an even better reactor, which is what acting is. But he's really good at that. And he has a key moment in the play where things change from silly and then start getting a little bit more serious, and he does it just right. And I suppose I should say that another premise of the show is the Stooges that you will see in this production, of course through characterizations, are the real Stooges from the 30s and the 40s and 50s. Now, how can this be?
You watched a lot of films on the web.
No, ask me how this can be.
How can that be, Wayne?
It seems that they discovered the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine.
Ah, wasn't it?
They discovered that it has youth-generating properties, regenerative properties, and that's how they're alive. And the whole thing is they're trying to convince people they are the real Stooges, while at the same time going through the struggle of calming themselves down. Okay, we got to blend in with reality now. And that's like the backbone of the story.
So,
and what happens, I'm not going to tell you.
Don't tell me what happened.
No.
That would ruin it. But the Stooges, do they actually blend into Villages' life here?
Into the life? Sure, they've been around.
Okay, so they play
They know,
golf.
they've seen the transition. They know what's going on.
They ride around each one with a golf cart? No golf
No,
cart races?
they are in a constant state of of wonderment about things.
Okay, how many other characters in the play are there besides the Three Stooges? Do they have significant others?
We have a talk show host who's in there. He is the one who interviews them, and he does not believe that they are who they are.
The real Stooges, okay.
And his name is Detective Angelo. He's played by Jim Cole. Jim Cole is a detective that the talk show host hires to check out the Stooges. The talk show host is Jerry Walsh, who plays Jay Falco. Jerry was in Dream Road last year. In fact, he was if anybody remembers, he was the barber.
Oh, he was good then.
Yes,
I really liked him.
Yep. And then they have a real estate agent here in the Villages named Phyllis, played by Michelle Ludwig, but I like Ludwig.
Is she a real estate agent?
No.
Oh, she won't tell him anything then.
And of course, we did Culinary Mo. And then we have, let's see. Oh, and we have a waitress who is going to be played by Camille Likes, who is the producer of the show. And she also does the voice of Alexa. And this is an Alexa device that you probably will never forget. And let's see. And then June Osteen is going to be our stage manager, and she is gathering people and skilled people to put together the set. It's going to be minimal. I have to say, folks, don't go coming there expecting to see fancy backdrops and everything.
If you have to use 3 theaters, it makes it on 3 different weeks. And you have to pull everything out, put it in a storage locker someplace, and then pull it back in.
It's a difficulty, but we find that the minimal setup works best because you concentrate more on the characters.
Who's going to do the sound?
We're really not sure yet. We had somebody last year who was pretty good. I just saw over at the improv show,
yes,
which you were there, the sound crew back there, they do a pretty good job.
Tony Versity does a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
and
so
you have a cast of less than 10 people. So I would recommend that each one have a head mic.
Yeah.
Okay. And you give Tony a copy of the script, and scene by scene, which guy or lady's microphone is turned on. And that will work excellent for sound.
I like those guys. I think they did the sound for Harvey when I was in that.
The reason that the sound was so good for the improv show is we're using a digital mixer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every scene has a cast, let's say 3 or 8 players or however many they are, and they're pre-programmed. So when we go from scene 1 to scene 2, all Tony has to do is push the 2 button and then the 3 button, and all of the pre-programmed microphones go on, and all the ones that need to be muted are off. That works almost perfectly. In improv, it can never work perfectly because you can never know when someone from the back line is going to jump up and join a scene.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
In your case, since it's scripted, it's unlikely that someone from backstage is going to come on stage.
Don't assume anything.
I'm going to assume that it's scripted. Is it scripted?
It's scripted, but there are moments here where even the actors are unaware of what's going to happen.
Oh, so it may be different in each one of the performances.
I think that, it could be. It has to be a little bit different because these guys have a natural comic timing, and they can take that extra little thing that happens. For instance, there's a scene right there at the beginning when they're on the talk show host on Jay Falco's show. There's a guy standing there. He's got a boom microphone, okay? But he has a little problem with it. He just can't control it. So once in a while, it just might bump in
to one of the players.
But we're not going to say when.
Okay.
So their reaction is going to be very natural.
Oh, so you're actually going to have a boom microphone.
We might, or we may rig up one.
Yeah.
You can do anything if you go over to Hobby Lobby, get a plastic microphone.
Are the seats going to be reserved seats? Can I pay more and get a seat in the first row?
Oh, I don't know. I don't deal with that.
Oh.
I'm just, I walk around with a script all day, making corrections, writing down ideas, getting ready to get on stage with the actors, because my directing style is a little different.
So are you actually in the show as well, or just as the director?
Just for a moment. I'm in there. I'm an announcer, and I announce at the beginning of the show. I announce Jay Falco, and then I can just pretty much relax.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I might because I'd like to go outside and sit in the audience and watch. But then again, I always feel that there's something else that can be added. We do a scene in a restaurant that we call the Restaurante Costa Plenty. And in the restaurant...
Very good play on words.
Yeah, I've been to some of those. And we were thinking, piano's always on stage. It might be come out there and play the piano, but then I might be screwing up what I'm playing. Every once in a while, I hit a real bad clunker, and then the restaurant stops and they turn around and they look, and then there's little bits here. And that's another thing about this play that is so much fun. Everybody in the cast, the crew, everybody is encouraged to come up with ideas. Throw them my way and Camille's way, and we make the decision if we're going to keep it or not. So far, they've made some great additions because they go back after watching, I think, probably dozens of Stooges films, which I encourage them to do. They suddenly remember a line.
So I've noticed on the web talking about the Stooges
Yeah.
that there are a great many Stooges films in old black and white. They're obviously reprocessed, or they're like studio quality prints where there's no indication that this piece of film was ever seen before.
That's because Columbia has their own restoration department, and they take care of their films because they have some wonderful things in their library, in their catalog.
Is that what's happening?
That's exactly what's happening.
Columbia is releasing these
I have
tubes.
I have 198 films at home in a box, and every one of them is restored. And there's two of them in there with actually 3D, which they tried on a couple of them. And also what people need to realize, thinking back, they probably experienced the Stooges like I did. They would come home from school, and hopefully maybe the last couple of innings or the Cub game is on. Then when that finished, the Stooges came on. And we're watching these films, and they were chopped up quite a bit. That's because they were not intended for kids. They were films that were shown before feature films in the 30s and 40s primarily.
In movie theaters, sure.
In movie theaters, along with the travelogue, with cartoon.
With the
newsreel, all that. And another feature, 2 features. And after about 3 days, you leave the theater feeling fantastic. And that was what that was all about. And the films in the box are all complete.
So you actually, in what medium do you have the films? Are they on 16 millimeter or?
Oh, no. I bought them off the catalog. They're
on DVD?
Blu-rays.
Blu-rays?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can buy anything now. We're buying an alligator for the show. Now, don't get scared, folks. It's not going to bite. And no alligators will be harmed during this production, or actors.
Good. We haven't had an alligator on the stage in a long time.
No, but we will. And I think it's one that people are going to remember.
Okay, that's good.
But it's not live, don't worry.
Is it a big one?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We're going to try.
An 8-footer.
It'll be about the size of Larry. You remember Larry?
Yeah, Larry, the 10-foot alligator.
Yeah.
He's over at Gator World.
He's at Gator World. He's a star.
Yeah.
He's probably making more money than I do. And of course, I'm retired. How much can you make? Yeah.
It's not all about the money. It's a hobby.
Now, that's true. Every kid, that's the joy. I think the real joy of living in the Villages is that I've been able to pursue things that I love. And even though I may not get compensation, or it might be light compensation, it's doing it that's important. That, to me, is where the joy is.
That's the fun of it.
It's the fun of it, exactly.
And let's pretend the show is a big hit.
Okay.
You sell out all 4 performances. You bring it back for encore performances?
Of course.
Or are you going to write more for them?
You know what? Of course, we'd love to do that. But the thing is, you never know what the situation is going to be, because we had 3 very successful houses with Dream Road, and we never got more. I guess it's a matter of booking. You can grab these stages for a certain amount of time, and that's it, because a lot of people are using them now. Yes, of course, we would love to do it. And actually, I think it'd be great to take it outside the Villages if we can.
There's always the stage up in Weirsdale.
There's stage there and being outside the Villages. When I worked in the Morgan Music Junction Band for 2.5 years, and we still go out and visit friends that came to see us.
What happened to the Morgan Theater?
She just decided to close. It's difficult ever since COVID to make up all that. And Daryl got ill and he passed away.
So the building and the theater, is that still there?
It's still there, and evidently it's been acquired by somebody else. But every time I try to find out information, they say, okay, soon opening. Then you don't hear from them for a few months. I don't know what the situation is, licensing or whatever, but it's a nice little spot. It's for a music venue.
Yeah, I heard Mr. White owned it, the guy who owns the furniture
Exactly.
stores.
He owns that whole neighborhood.
And then there's the Warfield Theater down in Wildwood. It's got a very nice stage, and that room will hold way over 250 people.
It's also the reality, too, that as far as I'm concerned, I don't really have the need that I have to be. I've just finished a production. I got to get into another one immediately. I'm not like that. I have a lot of interests. So my interests may go elsewhere in a different direction.
So what are you planning on next after this production?
After the production, I would like to do another production of Dream Road, but adapt it for a concert venue, because there was a lot of music that we had to condense and that we had to, in some cases, remove.
There was too much music left out.
Yeah, too much music left out, and so I'd like to put all that back in. But I'm also involved in a project where it's a very personal project, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. I went into my closet, and sometimes I come out of the closet, but I was in the closet.
That's been known to happen to a lot of people in show business.
Yeah.
Coming out of the closet.
And while I was in there, I had boxes and boxes of tapes, reel-to-reels, cassettes, old CDs, blah, 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 blah. And I started listening to them, and I said, my God, this is my entire music career that's been recorded. And so I've been taking it and putting it through a mixing board, cleaning up the sound and all that, and archiving everything. So I decided to take some of my catalog, older songs, give them new arrangements, and also include rare tracks, things that I know people have never heard or never knew that I did, and I'm going to make a 2 CD set, which I'm not going to sell. It's going to be given away to friends, family, and people as just a thank you for supporting me for all these years, for supporting all the dramatic works that I've done. Thank you for your support for Three Stooges Move to the Villages.
So, Wayne, when will the tickets be available, and how do they get them?
You will be able to get them online.
Online? At
Yes.
what website?
actingouttheaterclub.com.
Okay,
They'll give you the link will be on there.
great. Wayne, anything else you want to add to the show?
No, I think that if you're going to get a Chicago beef sandwich, make sure you put the peppers on it. Make sure that they ask you to dip it. Don't let them soak it. Don't let the thing swim in the juice. Have it pulled out, just dip it a little bit, and you sit down and you will be absolutely hooked.
Yeah, I was over there a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
maybe a month ago, and I had the Italian sausage
Yeah.
hero sandwich. That was pretty good. But now I'm gonna be back there for the second Saturday in the month car show. They're calling it Hot Dogs and Ice Cream from 4 to 5:30 behind Portillo. Yes, I'll be over there at the car show.
That's right. And I'll be on stage directing the Three Stooges Move to the Villages. And I hope that you folks come out to see it, because I think you'll be surprised. And in a time right now when the world seems to be falling apart and there are troubles and trials and tribulations, it's good to have a laugh.
Let's all have a laugh.
So I'll have a laugh. I guarantee you will laugh when you see this.
Great. Thanks for being with us, Wayne.
Thank you for having me.
Remember, our next episode will be released next Friday at 9 a.m. Should you want to become a major supporter of the show or have questions, please contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. This is a shout out for supporters Tweet Coleman, Ed Williams, Duane Romick, Paul Sorgan, and Dr. Craig Curtis at K2 in the Villages. We will be hearing more from Dr. Curtis with short Alzheimer's tips each week. If you know someone who should be on the show, contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. The way our show grows is with your help. Text your friends about this show if you enjoyed listening. Use the fan mail button on our homepage, villagesvitality.life, to leave comments. Be sure to include your name, email, and phone number. We thank everyone for listening. The content of the show is copyrighted by Roth Voice 2026, all rights reserved.